Black Panther 3 is officially in the works, following 2022's Wakanda Forever, a sequel that got mixed reviews but still kept the franchise strong. Director Ryan Coogler is back, and this time it looks like he's ready to expand Wakanda's world even further. What's really interesting is that Coogler might be bringing some familiar faces with him from his recent Sinners movie. During an interview with Comic Book, when asked whether any of the Sinners cast might appear in the next Black Panther, Coogler played coy, saying that he can neither confirm nor deny. That kind of response always says more than a straight no, and fans immediately started speculating. One name that keeps coming up is Sinners star Jamie Lawson, and rumor has it she could be playing Zenzi, a major character from the Black Panther comics. If that's true, it'd be a perfect fit. Zenzi is one of the most compelling anti-heroes in Wakanda's lore, a revolutionary from the neighboring nation of Naganda who gains psychic powers after Killmonger's experiments on her people. She escapes, leads an uprising, and becomes a symbol of rebellion against corrupt rulers. Created by writer Ta-Nehisi Coates and artist Brian Stelfreeze, Zenzi later allies herself with Zemo and eventually even Hydra. Despite T'Challa's repeated attempts to stop her, she always returns, stronger, more organized, and backed by powerful allies. If Marvel actually goes this route, it could work beautifully. Black Panther movies have always balanced action with political intrigue. In the first film, Killmonger challenged T'Challa for the throne. In Wakanda Forever, the nation faced internal strife after the king's death and the growing global interest in vibranium. Introducing Zenzi in the threequel would continue that theme, a rebellion rising from within, led by someone who sees herself as a liberator rather than a villain. And if she's backed by Hydra and Zemo, who's still alive somewhere in the MCU, that could set up a massive political thriller within the next phase of Marvel's storytelling. Also looks like Marvel's already locked in what's hitting theaters on February 18th, 2028, even if they haven't said it out loud yet. The studio just dropped the first Phase 7 release dates, and according to insider Jeff Snyder, that early 2028 slot belongs to Black Panther 3. Filming's reportedly set to start in early 2027, and there are already early script drafts floating around. Word is, the new King of Wakanda won't show up until after Secret Wars. Adding to the buzz, actor Damson Idris recently revealed he's been in talks with Marvel and is ready to take up the Black Panther mantle. The first Black Panther was a landmark for Marvel, a billion-dollar success that became one of the studio's crown jewels. But after Boseman's passing, everything changed. Still, Marvel pushed ahead with Wakanda Forever. It didn't reach the same box office highs, but it proved there was still a massive audience for this world. And now, before Marvel has even confirmed a third film, Denzel Washington himself basically let the cat out of the bag. A few weeks ago, he mentioned he's been talking with director Ryan Coogler, who's apparently writing a role just for him. That sent fans into a frenzy, especially since Marvel's been totally silent about what's next for the franchise. Washington even hinted this could be one of his last big roles before stepping away from acting, saying he only works with the best now, and a Marvel project definitely fits that category. What makes all this even more emotional is the full circle moment it could create. Back when Chadwick Boseman was still with us, he revealed that Denzel Washington had quietly paid for his acting school tuition years earlier. Without that gesture, there might never have been a Black Panther movie at all. So if Washington really joins the third film, it won't just be a major casting win, it'll feel like a deeply personal passing of the torch. If I had to guess, Black Panther 3 will continue right where Wakanda Forever left off. The ending of the second movie introduced T'Challa's son, and everything points to Damson Idris playing the grown-up version of that character, a young prince returning to claim his father's throne. As for Denzel, rumors suggest he might be the main villain this time. This could easily become one of Phase 7's biggest MCU films, with endless possibilities, from the rise of Doctor Doom to time travel, godly clashes, or even cosmic-level storylines. Thinking about all that, it's easy to imagine this movie blowing past everyone's expectations. And speaking of villains, if you were ranking Black Panther's most iconic comic book enemies, Victor Von Doom takes the crown without question. He's the ultimate bad guy, a ruler of a small nation with a massive ego, a genius scientist, and a master of dark magic. Doom truly believes the world would be better off under his control, and in a twisted way, his logic almost makes sense. Nearly every comic he appears in is top-tier storytelling, which makes it wild that he's never gotten the live-action treatment he deserves. If Marvel decides to bring him into Black Panther 3, that could be one of the boldest creative moves of the entire phase. The Wakanda Forever crew has said making that film was emotionally exhausting after Boseman's death. They needed time to grieve, regroup, and figure out what came next. But at this point, it's almost certain the trilogy will be completed. The first two films made serious money, and the world of Wakanda is still packed with potential. Wakanda has become one of the MCU's biggest pillars, not just for its futuristic setting, but for the heroes who call it home. In the comics, Doom stages a full-blown coup to seize control of the nation, and that same concept could fit perfectly into Black Panther 3. By the end of Wakanda Forever, the throne had already changed hands. After the loss of T'Challa and Queen Ramonda, Shuri became the rightful heir but chose to step aside, leaving M'Baku as king. Still, it's hard to imagine every Wakandan tribe accepting his rule without resistance. Different factions could rise, pushing their own ideologies, demanding reforms, or even trying to reclaim power. That kind of political tension is exactly the opening someone like Doom would exploit. And not just Doom, major world governments could easily jump in, manipulating the chaos, backing coups, and draining Wakanda of its resources under the guise of stability. If M'Baku does manage to keep control and earn full recognition as ruler, his first move would likely be to solidify power. He'd fill his cabinet with trusted allies, restructure the military, and push Wakanda toward a new era of defense. After everything the country's been through, from Thanos' invasion to Namor's attack, and with the growing global obsession over vibranium, a massive modernization effort would make total sense. One of the coolest ideas from the comics was the creation of the Prowlers, huge vibranium-powered panther mechs that guarded the nation's borders and crushed invaders. It's basically Wakanda's answer to Tony Stark's Iron Legion. Even Ultron was built on the same protect the world concept, which went horribly wrong. And with Marvel already teasing Vision Quest, where Ultron could return, imagine him hacking into the Prowlers. Suddenly, Wakanda's greatest defense turns into its deadliest threat. A full-scale AI uprising, forcing the nation to destroy its own machines in a massive city-leveling battle. And that's just the surface-level defense. In the comics, Wakanda's military is next level. We're talking space-faring warships, orbital battle satellites, and even a nuclear shield. Their most dangerous weapon is a vibranium strike bomb, a weapon of mass destruction with twice the yield of a standard nuke, capable of wiping out entire armies in seconds. If Marvel leans into that angle, M'Baku could take things further by forming a new elite unit, an army of Black Panther warriors, each a super soldier infused with the nation's advanced tech. On the Alliance side, Namor and his kingdom of Talokan would almost certainly return. He knows that if Wakanda falls, he's next in line to face the world's superpowers alone. Teaming up with M'Baku would be more than just strategy, it'd be about survival. And speaking of alliances, the perfect addition would be Storm from the X-Men. In the comics, she and T'Challa shared more than just friendship. They were married, and in alternate universes even had a son powerful enough to control storms with his bare hands. With Marvel gearing up to introduce a new X-Men lineup after Secret Wars, bringing Storm into Black Panther 3 would be a perfect move. A multiverse reset would also open the door for a new T'Challa, a fresh face ready to carry on the legacy. If Marvel plays its cards right, this movie could bridge the future of the Black Panther saga, the X-Men, and the cosmic scale stories of Phase 7 all in one shot.